Hello everyone and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto YouTube Charts video. I am the FOMO Charts. Today is Friday, November 21, 2025. It's after 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome everyone. This is a swing trading and investing YouTube Charts video. Let's prepare for the upcoming week. Stock earnings releases. We have Best Buy earnings, Alibaba, NEO, Dell, CleanSpark, and Petco, just to name a few earnings. Economic data upcoming, we have PPI, core PPI, retail sales, core retail sales, consumer confidence, unemployment claims, preliminary GDP or core PCE price index. Those are very important for inflation data. Recent news. Next week, we have a USA holiday, Thanksgiving. So USA stock market will be closed on Thursday, November 27 for Thanksgiving. The next day, the stock market is closing early on Friday, November 28 at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a half day that Friday. NVIDIA beat earnings report expectations. However, investors are still bearish about AI sector growth and valuations, hence the sell-off in the market this month. Mixed economic data combined with uncertainty of a December interest rate cut are affecting market volatility. Crypto whales sold more Bitcoin. However, some institutions, sovereign investors bought Bitcoin. Chart events. Essentially, the summary is that Bitcoin, Ethereum, a lot of cryptocurrencies downtrended for the past 1 month. And support has yet to be found. It's price discovery. Institutions, some of them are buying, but most of the older whales, reportedly, not most of them, but some of them are selling a lot of Bitcoin, hence the crash. Very price sensitive. Stocks as well. Downtrending. We are approaching support levels. We're having little small bounces, but it's not reversal uptrend yet. There's a potential 4-hour bullish momentum on all of these assets. But I do want to point out technical charts can be overridden and canceled by breaking news and fundamental changes. SPY. S&P 500. So we're still in this longer term uptrend, but in the shorter term, in the past month, we are downtrending. Low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. We bounced right off the 100 EMA 651 support. We're below 665 resistance. Now, I'm preparing for two scenarios. If we have a small bounce and continuation down, downtrend is confirmed, and we're still going to go down. However, if we end up making in the next 30 days a W, bottom, double bottom, an upside down head and shoulders, a V-shaped recovery, which is an intraday uptrend, or a daily uptrend of higher highs and higher lows in the price, any of those four scenarios, and we're going to go higher. But what's not shown on the chart is the institutional plan, meaning are institutions just going to turn on their selling algorithms? They're selling VWAP algorithms, and every day they're going to sell AI tech stocks for the rest of the year? Or what will the government do in terms of legislation? What will the FOMC do in about a month from now? Those are all questions. But on the technical charts, we were just too high. Even on a monthly chart, we were out of range, out of bounds, overbought. Weekly chart, we were overbought for about 1 week, and then we had then we had bearish signals. Shooting star, evening star, inside bar, loss of support, and we crashed back down. But we hit that weekly 20 EMA support of 651. That's why on the 4 EMA, even though we're downtrending in the price, if I pull up an oscillator, it's actually starting to show some MACD bullish momentum. Okay, so then we have to really battle out the price and then try to maintain the uptrend. So I'm not expecting us to have an extreme green day in 1 day. It's going to take time. We've recovered from -5%, -7%, -10% pullbacks in the S&P 500. It takes about 3 months, however, or at least a month. So the next 40 days, very important for the market. Nasdaq on that daily chart. QQQ ETF. We're in the short-term downtrend, lower lows and lower highs. resting above the 100 EMA at 583 price. Long term, we're still in the golden cross, so it's not anything extreme. We're still in the longer term uptrend, just a larger pullback. So the pullback right now is about -8%. We have had that before. We've definitely had that before in the past year. The recovery usually takes 3 months, 1 month to 3 months. So that's why I'm not going to call the bottom yet. I need to see, for me to call a bottom, we need to see again, double bottom, upside down and shoulders, V-shaped recovery, uptrend reversal, or a trend line breakout to confirm that. None of those are happening yet. We're starting to get oversold on oscillators. Weekly chart was overbought. It was too high. Then it pulled back to more neutral range. Same thing with the monthly is in progress right now. Monthly was too high on RSI. Weekly just poked out. So now that the daily is getting a little bit reset, that's fine. Lower low, lower high. I mean, fine for traders who are waiting for the next trade. It's painful for investors. We'll be honest. Price downtrending, and there's a little bit of this MACD momentum, but it can be overridden. If another institution, if we get, for example, we get downgrades, if we get bearish news, fundamental changes, insider selling, government changes, if the FOMC does not cut interest rate in December, we're probably going to keep going down. We just need some big event in finance that's going to give confidence to traders and investors. Right now, the confidence is low. There's too many bearish events in the past 30 to 40 days, and the price was too high. That's why we are pulling back down. Let's go to Bitcoin. Let's just make this a very short video. Bitcoin. We use a Bitfinex chart. Clean this chart up. So first off for Bitcoin, very simple. Are we uptrending? Are we consolidating sideways? Or are we downtrending on Bitcoin and crypto? We are downtrending right now. There was a chance in October, late October, maybe early November. There was a very small chance. If we did not lose 107, we would have been better. But it's downtrending so hard, I'm actually anticipating, because we have not had a bounce, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. No bounce. That happens. But we're below the linear regression zone. We were poking out below the Bollinger Band, but that's over now. Death cross printed. That's not good. Definitely not good. When the actual death cross prints and is final, that's not good. So the last time that happened, the death cross was in 2022. And let's see, from the death cross spot, we actually went down 30% on Bitcoin. And then we had a bounce. We only went 25%. We had a little small bounce. So this is what I want to point out to people is sometimes when we downtrend hard on crypto, it can last for 1 to 2 years. Sometimes it lasts for 6 months. That's why as an investor or a longer term swing trader or position trader, from my own experience and research in crypto, sometimes I just have to wait. Just be patient. Be patient. It's not good for me to look at a price chart every single minute. That's not normal. Or every single day. Maybe daily is okay. But normally for investors, all I have to do is just look every week. I don't have to look every day. But if I'm trying to time an entry as a trader, which I'm starting to get interested because of the reasons I just mentioned, and let's pull up some oscillators, that this first MACD bullish momentum just failed, and that happens because it's just technical charts. We're still in this downtrend on a 4-hour chart, and I'm starting to see some momentum building. It's not absolute, though. The weekly chart as well, we were just a little bit too high, poked out of that upper Bollinger Band, correlation with stock market crash. So we can see on a weekly chart, there's still room to actually go down further, because once we lose the 50 EMA on a weekly, that's problematic. and we bring up this volume profile, we can see there's more activity in the $70,000, $65,000 Bitcoin range. I don't want to scare people too much. So let's go back to this daily chart. I'm going to give myself two scenarios. Turn off all indicators and just play it very simple. If I put it, we already talked about the trend first. We're in a confirmed daily downtrend for now. So we are not going uptrend. So if I'm very conservative, I don't buy anything with that strategy using that mindset. However, if I'm trying to maybe average in a little bit for a trade, if I take the low of Bitcoin, which was early 2023, to the high, our potential all-time high for this year of 126, we're just barely resting on that 382 Fibonacci level. If you know Fibonacci support, $84,000. So we lost this trend line. That's not good, right? We could have maintained the uptrend, try to go up one more time. That failed. Shorts attacked. However, from my own strategy and criteria, we can see it's a falling knife, looking like it's straight down. Very dangerous to try to buy one of those in terms of swing trading. What I want to see is, I want to see this price go sideways. That's what we need to get confidence back to the traders, is I need to see a double bottom on a daily chart. It's not happening yet. It could happen in 40 days from now. We could rally exactly from this spot, reject down from an EMA, which in this case would probably be somewhere around 93,000, reject down again, shorts try to short it down, and then they get short squeezed out. That could happen. It could definitely happen. So that's why I'm starting to look at a potential interesting buy spot. But I don't want to get people too excited, because if somebody, for example, is new to Bitcoin and has never lived through a negative 90% Bitcoin crash, I want to put that out there that it could happen. It could happen. It's one of my scenarios. This is not even an A+ setup for me. It's just starting to get below that linear regression zone for a first initial buy. But the price definitely needs to go sideways. It has to go sideways. That's when we know we have a relative bottom on Bitcoin. It's just not happening yet. And you might be wondering, why did we crash so hard? Were there any technical signals? There were. On a monthly chart, there's a double top starting from September to October, right there in the arrow. Double top outside of the Bollinger Band zone with all these candle body wicks. That's how you know we have a big problem. Selling off, but we came back down into the linear regression zone, a little more neutral. So we've seen in the past in 2021, once that happens, linear regression zone of this purple line, which I'm highlighting, I need to see the price go sideways. That's what I'm saying. It needs to go sideways for a couple of months. Then the shorts will say, actually, we're not going down. I need to get out of my position and close. And then we have a secondary rally. Then once we had the large double top, that could be the end. On this monthly chart, we did have bearish momentum forming. It was large. The timing, though, was correlated with the stock market. On the weekly chart, I was warning people, we do have that bearish momentum. And we broke bearish below 104. So now you can see my mindset. I'm preparing. I need to see a much larger pattern. And it takes a couple months. It takes a 1 month, 2 months, 3 months for this to actually end. And I need to see an actual setup. So, for example, moving to Ethereum, and we'll close here. Hit that 618. I'm using the April 2025 low to the August 2025 high as my two low to high Fibonacci points. We are definitely still in this downtrend. Ethereum has not death crossed on 50 EMA, 200 EMA yet, but it's still definitely downtrending. We're getting rejected below every single 20 EMA for now. However, this is Ethereum, and we're in the 618 zone. So I like the 618 zone. Linear regression is low. Potential hammer candle. It's not A+ setup. Stochastic is low. RSI is low. I forgot to point that out about Bitcoin. RSI is actually finally low. And if we do have a pop, it's not going to be that big, probably. We might get 5 to 10%, and then the bears are just going to try to attack again. They're always going to try to push it down and sell. So trading in a downtrend is just probably the wrong thing to do in terms of if I'm long biased, I want this thing to go up. It needs to be uptrending. So trying to trade while it's going down is just going to result in getting stopped out all the time or having losses. So that's why I refined my system as for trading is if there's no setup, no buy. For me personally, if I don't see like a W or something like that, or upside down head and shoulders, or in the past, early 25, how did I know the exact buy spot of Ethereum to buy the bottom, which I did in this zone, 1700, is trendline breakout. Are we having that trendline breakout right now? No, there is no trendline breakout. So I'm not going to buy that. Shorts are just saying they might close their position and then it might bounce up a little bit and then they're going to try to short it down again. So that's why just basic foundational technical analysis in terms of what is the trend? Is there any support or resistance? Is there a trendline breakout? I don't really need all the indicators. So right now, the only good news I could say about Ethereum is that potential hammer candle below linear regression and that we're in the oversold zone. So definitely we're not at a high purple RSI zone. We were back in July. We're in the lower zone, but I need to see multiple oversold conditions and then this building MACD before the market's going to reverse an algorithm. So we're still in a bearish downtrend at this time. And I'm in this mentality right now because for me personally in November, I had successful swing trades and I'm actually green right now. So that's why I just closed all my positions. I made profit this month in crypto and I don't have to do anything. The reason why you don't hear me telling people to short or use leverage is USA American exchanges, they don't have leverage. So leverage is actually regulated here in America for cryptocurrencies, and it's basically not legal. And so if somebody wants leverage, quote unquote, there's up to 2x, 3x, or 4 times leverage on crypto exchanges, and that's maximum. There's no 50x leverage here like on Binance or 100x leverage like on Hyperliquid. Here in America, it's illegal. It's regulated. So that's why you don't hear me doing massive leverage position trades, or you don't hear me shorting too much because we do have futures here and you can short using futures, but that's also regulated as well. So the only way to really easily play crypto or Bitcoin long or short is actually using stock ETFs. There's inverse Bitcoin and there's regular Bitcoin and there's leveraged Bitcoin as well. And there's leverage in the sense of stock ETFs going 1x, 2x, 3x. There's like 2 times Bitcoin or 2 times NVIDIA, 2 times Tesla, that type of thing. So that's why from experience in trading and investing and my system, I just know when we start downtrending so hard is for me as a long bias bull trader, I do nothing. Just wait. And then for me, when that ultimate setup comes, like it did in April 2025, I bought Ethereum. And then when we had a consolidation, and I still held, I remember I left that chart, risk to reward ratio on my chart, and just left it there. It's uptrending. We had that pullback. Do not be afraid because it's uptrending reversal. Let it keep going higher. Then as Ethereum keeps going higher, I might adjust my stop. Just in case this is a top, I sold some here at around under 4,000. It keeps going up here and the trade is going higher, but we're hitting this resistance of 4,700 5 times in 5 months. And then I just say, you know what, it's not going higher. We have bearish momentum, bearish divergence. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Sell. I already sold way a long time ago. So my Ethereum, I sold that like months ago. So that's why for me, I just refine my system and my style, my strategy that just get in at the correct time, sell at a close enough correct time. And then I have a choice. Am I going to try to short? If I'm not going to short anything, I just exit my trades in profit and wait and literally do something else for my life. That is what I've learned with crypto. Do something else, meaning I could chart or I could paper trade or I could just do something, turn the computer off, go do something else. So that's a little bit of that psychology and the discipline to not just keep buying random spots in the market. It just doesn't make any sense because we're downtrending as a bull. Downtrending as a bull means sell and get out of there. So this sounds very negative, and it's because the price has been going negative. All I'm going to say is I'm preparing for a bounce. It's just a matter of I need to see a little bit stronger support levels. And if we keep crashing, I would not be surprised. People will come back when we have a very, very large MACD, very, very large squeeze. And when there's an actual squeeze on the chart with a breakout setup, people are going to come back to that. But right now, it's not happening, so we just wait. All right, thank you everyone for watching this video a little bit longer than I wanted. But I want to explain just because the market conditions are so dangerous right now and it's volatile. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, if you learned something, go ahead and click subscribe. Consider clicking like. Share this video with your friends. Hope you have a nice holiday and week and month. And I'll see you in the next video.